Okay, guys. So, today I thought I'd go through the month of May. My sales, how much I paid out, some highlights here and there. Um, May was not a great month for me. Not 100% sure why, but the sales were low. Whether that's to do with energy bills and cost of living and everything rising, I don't know. But yeah, it was slower. Now, when I read these figures, some people might go, "What the hell are you on about? These good figures." To me, they're not. Um, so my total sales from 1st of May to 31st of May, I sold 118 items, averaging £27 an item, and total sales were £3,185.59. My selling costs were about 29%. So in total, net sales £2,259.68, which is funny. It's actually down 7.5% from last period. And last period, I think right now I was planning my wedding for the next month, so I wasn't even really doing eBay, which is quite showing. Um, I like to hit £1,000 a week on average. So I'm not saying it's terrible, and I can certainly live on this because this is extra income, obviously, on top of my full-time wage. But it's not it's not what I've come to expect from selling on eBay. So what we do is we'll go through a few things. I've had two repeat buyers and 112 one-time buyers, whether that means anything or not, I don't know. My top sales were actually in mobile phones and communication. I think one main one on that one, which I will show you. Followed up by sound and vision, and then computers, tableting. In fact, all of these are around the 100 plus mark. So yeah, um, pretty constant through the month. It looks like I spent quite a bit on postage. So where is it? That £925 selling costs works out £490.87 in eBay fees and £435 in postage labels, because I do most of my postage through eBay, through Packlink. So yeah, it's that's a lot of money I've spent out, but still, I digress. So let's go through a few sort of sales which have, you know, either something different, a good sale, just some random ones. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 10 sales here to highlight to you. So, first up is a Kryptonics skateboard. I actually had two of these. I think I paid £2 each for them, I think. They sold for £24.99 plus £5.95 shipping. So these older skateboards, these penny skateboard sort of things, I've actually got two more down here which I need to list. Always a good thing to look out for. People like that nostalgic retro sort of vibe. The groovier the colour, the better. But yeah, £24.99 plus £5.95 shipping. You're not worried about it getting damaged in post. It just goes out and it's gonna get there 99.999% of the time. Absolutely fine. These things were made to take a fully grown human, so yeah, um, yeah, something to look out for, like the nostalgic sort of things you played with as a kid. Have a look. Always, I'm not saying everything's perfect, but look it up and see what they go for. Next up, we have the Amplicoms TV2400, which is the wireless headset for the elderly. You plug it into either a music center or TV or something like that, and it basically just increases the sound. It's just like a pair of earbuds or something. I paid £10 for this, I remember, at a charity shop. I think it was reduced from 20, and I got 44.99 plus 2.99 shipping for this. Anything, I've said this over and over and over again, and this will actually come up again in the next sale. Anything to help or aid someone, check it out, because most of the time it's worth doing. Most of the time there's money. There is such a premium for devices to help people. It's unbelievable, and a little sad that so much is charged for these things. For what is effectively an amplifying pair of headphones, $44.99 on the second-hand market. I have no idea what these would have cost new. You're probably looking in the hundreds. But yeah, $44.99, $2.99 shipping. I paid £10 for this. Yeah, and this, like I said, for aiding devices, leads us straight into the next one, which is the Doro Secure 580 phone. I actually have another one of these. In fact, I will get this a second so I can show you. I actually have another one of these, which is for sale right this second. If I can find it. This thing. That's all it is. It's just a really crappy phone. Now, this one here is for sale as well for the same price as the one which is already sold. I had to wait for a battery. I picked up 2 Doro phones from the same seller, and I paid £20 for them both, plus some TP-Link adapters, 4 of them. Now, this phone, I took an offer of £97 plus £2.99 shipping. So £100 basically from £10. It's insane. And all this does, you put on the SIM card the numbers you want, and they literally have A, B and C, and that's all they can phone out, or they can receive calls. And I think on the back it has an emergency sort of beacon thing which you can press, and that will alert, I don't know, an emergency number or something. But yeah, incredible. And brand new, you're looking at like £400 for these. From what I've seen online. I don't know if that's because they don't do these anymore. I didn't really look that far into it. But yeah, I got another one which, even without the box and everything, I'll still get the same sort of money for it. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. Doro is the brand to look for. I also sold a flip phone which wasn't as worth as much, but that's still got £35. So yeah, definitely look them up. Batteries are a bit of a pain. Also, a little bit of a thing on these. When the batteries are dead and you put them into their charger, they show no activity for 5 minutes. 0 activity. There is absolutely nothing there at all. It takes about 5 minutes for them to flick on, and I've had 3 different types of these phones, and all 3 show nothing. Even on the power supply, because I can see the wattage going through it, shows 0 when it's in. And then out of nowhere, it'll suddenly light up. So don't think you've got a dead device or a dead battery. Put it into its cradle and see. And trust me, it should light up. Batteries are a bit of a pain to get hold of. I had to get this one from, I think, Czech Republic. Because the original ones for this device are bloody expensive. I think I paid £11 for the battery for this. So I'm in this one, because this one cost me £5. I'm in this one about £16-17. But you know, it's worth doing. So right, we're waffling on. Next up, let's have a look at some retro retro device. This is the Sony Walkman, the NWZ X1060, and it's a 32GB digital media player, made in Japan. People love these things, absolutely love them. I priced this one very high. This one came as part of a bundle for I've mentioned it a few times. I did some picking around a guy's house where his uncle had died, and it was just filled with stuff. So I can't exactly remember how much I paid for this, but it wasn't much. I had it up high. I put this at £200 originally, and I finally sort of negotiated with a guy, and I got it for £144.99 plus £2.99 shipping. Just an old retro sort of funky. It was outside of the norm. It was one of those devices where when you were at school, if you saw another kid have this, you thought, wow, and you got so jealous of it because it was such a cool thing. But it was always a bit of a fad. They didn't last very long in the space, sort of like a few months, and then the hype wears off and nobody has it anymore. So yeah, whenever you see any old devices which look a bit funky, look them up. 9 times out of 10, they're worth it, especially if it's a brand name, Sony, JVC, Philips, Panasonic, all those sorts of things. Next up, something a little bit different, a camera. I think I paid £5 for this one. I picked up two from the same guy, one for £5, one for £4. It's sold for £51.99. Just because the box is opened, it doesn't mean that you can't sell it new. I know you're meant to put open box, but I've never had a problem selling new, and I just literally put box open to confirm contents condition. And I opened it up, and it was all still sealed, had all its covers and everything on there. And yeah, I sold it £51.99. Got positive feedback back from that, so you know, it's yeah, everything was good for that. So yeah, don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone. Testing that if that was second hand would be a pain, but because it's brand new, I'm willing to take the risk. If it's still got all the seals on it and everything, and it looks in good condition, and the box looks okay, I'll take the risk. And I don't think I've been stung yet. Touch wood. Next up, just because something's broken doesn't mean it's not got value. This one here, if it had been working, would have been worth about £80. I think I paid £5 for it. It's a 3D Blu-ray player. It was screwed. Had a funny display, and I think it had it wouldn't even read the discs. It was a nightmare. Even the controller itself didn't appear to be working properly. That controller on its own goes for £30–40. But I still got £19.99 plus £10.95 shipping on that. So I made my money back, and I actually made profit on that. So I probably made about £10 profit. Not ideal, not great, and it's not as good as what it would have been if it was all good. But don't be afraid to sell broken items. It's not hard to do. I think even in the description, I put obviously on the title, I make sure I include the word spares or repairs. Obviously, I put in condition for parts are not working. In the description of that condition, I put spares or repairs. Please read description. And then in the actual description itself, this is how much you have to do it, because otherwise it can be a nightmare. Unit powers on but does not take disk. An LCD screen is showing garbled characters. No further testing occurred. Remote seems unresponsive. This listing is for spares and repairs, and therefore returns are not accepted. Buyer accepts any and all faults, both known and unknown. Reason I say that is because I just say, if the buyer has a problem with anything, I just say, look, I tested it up to the point it had a fault. After that, I didn't test it anymore. So I know that this thing does not take discs, and that the front screen was a bit bleh. Now, if it was just the front screen, I would have carried on testing it. But when it gets to a critical fault, a fault which impedes the use of it, I stop. And that's it. That's as far as I go. I don't open the unit up and check for anything. It's not worth my time, because on that alone, I could spend hours diagnosing that. And then, I mean, yes, it's worth an extra £50, £60 on top of that. But then you've got to think about parts, time it takes to do things, and you'll find that once you've sunk 4, 5, 6 hours into something, troubleshooting, diagnosing, especially if you don't do it all the time. There are people who buy these up and they know instantly what to do, and it's easy. For me, I don't do this enough. I can work it out, I can fix things, but it can take me a long time, and I'm just not as efficient at doing it. So for me, it's not worth my time. I'd rather make the quick money, free up the space, shift it on, let somebody else fix it, and make an easy profit. So that's what I did there. Next up, cables. Do not ever just think that cables are something to be looked over, because I tell you what, cables, I make a fortune. Cables and remote controls, I make a lot of money on all of them. This cable was from a separate set, and as usual, the norm, the cassette deck wasn't working. So what I did was I separated these cables out. These were actually proprietary Technics cable. 3 of them, I think it was. I sold the first 2 for about 20. I think one went for 20, one went for 25. This one I sold once, and the buyer's address was wrong. So I actually had it returned to sender by Royal Mail, and I sold it again, and I got £14.99 plus £2.99 shipping for that. That's just for 3 cables. I only paid £40 for the entire unit. and I made 20, 45, 60 pounds just on the 3 cables before I even sold the units. And then I think the amplifier went for 40, 50 pounds. CD player went for about 30. You know, it all adds up. So don't be afraid to sell cables. I've also had audio cables as well. I always look up the name of the audio cable because, sorry, a bit of a mess here, but I've actually got one here. This one's damaged, unfortunately. Otherwise it would be worth something. This one here is a Cambridge audio cable. I think when I looked this one up, I think this one's worth about £15 if it was all fixed and working. But like I said, it's damaged, so it's not. When you have pairs which aren't linked together like this is, make sure they're the same length if you're selling them together. So the left and the right, make sure that you're selling that they are the same length. When you get into expensive cables, the audiophiles, the people who like that sort of stuff, they are very peculiar. Make sure you do an accurate length, because apparently, I don't know, but apparently different lengths means that there could be some disruption in the sound quality. It could be a slight lag between the speakers. I don't know. All I know is I've sold cables in the past for 40, 50 pounds. Be careful around Sandstrom cables. In fact, be careful around anything Sandstrom at all, because Sandstrom is one of those Vero items which can get quite funny, new or second hand. So be careful with Sandstrom. But yeah, don't discount cables. Always look up cables, especially if they've got a name on them or if it's a proprietary connection. Don't discount it. Just, yeah. It's a really good thing. In fact, while I'm here, let's get up a remote control as well. In fact, let's get up a couple of extra things. So we'll do 12 items, not 10. So, okay. So next up we have a Kenwood remote control. This came from a unit. I can't remember what unit it was, whether it was a CD player, an amplifier, a whole hi-fi. It was broken. There was problems with it. So what I do is when something's broken, I part it all out. Just this controller sold for £20. This was the best offer. I think I've had it up for £29. £20 plus £2.99 shipping. It's a large letter. It goes quick, easy, and I got £20 just for the remote control. So 9 times out of 10, with the price I pay for some of these items, that can sometimes cover the entire cost. Additionally, for parting things out, I also do phones. So here we have a Gigaset A420. And I parted out the handset, the cables, and the cradles. Well, this is just a handset. I think I sold 2 of these this month. One for £11.99 and one for slightly lower, plus shipping on top. I think I paid £3 or £4 for the entire box. Well, this is sold for £11.99. I think the cradle sold for about that same price, and the power adapter sold for £8 or £9. You know? So it's great. We sold one of our bags. Really pleased with this. I think, let me just double check a second on this one. I'm pretty sure this didn't sell for that full price. Okay, so I think this sold for 25 plus £2.99 shipping, or 26 plus £2.99 shipping. It's a Sex Pistols bag. I actually have one here. I'll get one of them. Hang on. This one here. Now these bags worked out about £1 a piece. I've got a lot of them. And yeah, that one sold for, I think it was £25, £26. I don't actually have all the full data. I'm looking at the monthly sales data, so it's a little bit skew with. But yeah, those bags have started selling, so I'm quite happy about that. Next up, the free beer glasses. I got a load of free pint glasses: Estrella, Bulmers, Peroni, Thatcher's, Stella. These ones here, I sold 6 brand new Estrella half pint glasses, and I think I sold pint glasses as well to the same guy. £24.99. That was a free pickup on Facebook Market, completely free. So that was well worth the petrol. And then finally our highlight was the Hot Wheels. We sold a Hot Wheels Octane. I think this one went to Germany, if I remember correctly. Germany or Chile, one of the two. 17.99 for a single car. Well, I paid £60 for 82 cars, I think it was. I'm well into profit now on them. But yeah, 17.99. I think I had three of these green ones, and I think I had two blue versions of it as well. No, two of the green ones, two of the blue ones, or three of the blue. I don't know. But yeah, 17.99. They average out under £1 a piece for those Hot Wheels, and when you have ones like that, it's pretty damn great. So yeah, some good sales. I'm not saying that everything's terrible and everything's, but not what I'm used to, I will admit. Averaging, I'd say I'm averaging £100 a day during May. Yeah, 31 days, 3,185. So yeah, in sales, I'm averaging just over £100 a day. £108 a day? No, just over £100. So for a lot of people, that would be amazing. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible, but I'm not completely happy with it. Overall, my sales have actually gone up this year. I think we're, for this quarter so far, which is the 1st of April to the 4th of June, so right up until today, 65 days, we're at £6,485 in sales. So, it's nothing to sniff at. But at the same time, I just think that things need to pick up a little bit, and I'm hoping that things do over the coming months. But I think energy prices are going to get hit again, so things could be difficult. This is where you diversify. You buy things outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to go and look at clothing. Don't be afraid to look at electronics or vintage items or ceramics and pottery and it's toys. Don't be afraid to look at all these things, because you need to have as many different items as possible to appeal to all of the markets. It's all well and good me having the expensive electronic items, but at this time of year when people are struggling and holding down their money, the sales are lower. So I'm selling a lot more smaller items, whereas before, I've said before, I like to have the big ka-ching and be like, yes. But lately I've had to, my average price has gone from about £50 an item down to 27. So it's still good, but you have to diversify. Look into all those different things. Don't be afraid to try something out. Car boot sales are amazing. Charity shops are okay, but I found a lot of charity shops are extremely expensive. Car boot sales are where you can take the risks. Car boot sales are where you can go around and find the smaller items, the things you've never seen before, the things which you want to do a bit of research about. Take that risk. If it's only a few pounds, do it. Worst comes to worst, you'll learn a lesson. Best comes to it, you'll find a niche which you didn't even know about. I've recently started doing digital cameras, and digital cameras aren't worth a great deal. But people see an older camera and they think, oh, it's only worth £1, £2, £3, £4 or something like that. And I don't get masses. I get between £25 and £50 a camera. But that means that it's an easy list, because how hard is it to test a camera? You put a battery in, take a photo. If the photo is good, great. Check all the features. It takes a few minutes. It's so easy. And they sell really regular. I'm shocked. People like having digital cameras, the older ones. Retail arbitrage. You guys can get into that. I've got a few things retail arbitrage, but that needs more of an Amazon side of things. I've found. I've also started up recently Etsy and Vinted. I've actually put all the rugby shirts which I've got on not Etsy, Vinted and Depop. Sorry. So I've done that as well, and it's I haven't had any sales yet, so I understand it can be a bit slower on them. I've had a lot of people favourite the items and stuff, so we'll see what happens on them. I will give you an update on them once it's ran. We'll say a 6-month update. Sorry, I'm doing eBay work at the same time. I'll put that laptop down now. Yeah, I've decided to diversify out, so I'm also going to do Etsy as well. I've got a couple of things which can go on Etsy. I think Etsy is a bit more niche and selective. So yeah, it's a tough time. In the grand scheme of things, I'm doing very well. Not as well as I want to, but I am doing very well, so I cannot complain on that regard. And I understand a lot of people will watch this and they go, you know, stop being an asshole. You know, you're doing great. If I had that many sales, I'd be so happy. So yeah, I've actually got a return coming back. That damn scanner, which I sold for over £100, apparently it's broken. We will see when it gets back. Something tells me it's not, because of the foam padding, which is gone now. The people who've seen from the beginning will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the foam I had the foam padding on it, and it should have been absolutely fine. So we will check that when it comes back, and we'll make sure that all the serial numbers match and everything. And worst comes to worst, open it up. It's a scanner. It's easy to fix. So yeah, I got a scanner coming back, and then we've also had a Magic the Gathering game which went out, is being held at the customs in Chile. The buyer's put in a request. Now, I am suspicious, because I think what's happened is he's had a letter come through for customs charges, and what he's doing is he's waiting and trying to hold off paying that so that he gets refunded by me, because eBay will step in. I think I've got to the 6th or the 7th, and then he's going to try and you know, get me to refund him, and then all he has to pay is the customs charges. So that's unfortunately the other side of eBay, which you have to deal with, the scammers and the assholes. I'm not saying that they are, but I have had a few instances before, so I will just do what I usually do. I will film anything which is brought back to me, and I will film it all being opened. I will send a message about this item, and I will try and fool them. I'll say I'm reclaiming the item if they don't pay the customs charges, basically, and see if I can trigger a response from them that way. We will see if we can do something with that. But yeah, so this is just a talking head video, showing some highlights. I might do one of these once a month or something. Hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult to edit and put together, but yeah, if you like this video and you want to see something like this once a month, I know it's long. I think we're up to 28.5 minutes almost. Yeah, if you want to see this, then let me know, and I'll carry on doing these. You know, similar. Can't speak. On the same vein, if you want to see more of the weekly sales videos come back, then let me know, and I will see about doing them. Or if it's just a Monday thing, or a random good sale here or there, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. As I've said before, once we reach 25 subscribers, I'll give away either a gift card or some sort of item or something, I don't know. Maybe something to help your business if you're doing eBay, or there might be a multiple choice thing for what you'd like. Multiple choice selection of prizes for you to choose from. We will see. So yeah, this is the first time I think I've done a proper talking head video, so yeah. If you liked this video, I know it's a lot of waffling, so if you made it through to the end of the half an hour, then absolutely great. If not, I understand. But yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and that'd be really great, because it really helps the channel. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video. Thanks a lot.